Mappila Muslim, in general, is a member of the Muslim community of same name found predominantly in Kerala and Lakshadweep Islands, in southern India. Muslims of Kerala make up 26.56% of the population of the state, and as a religious group they are the second largest group after Hindus. Mappilas share the common language of Malayalam with the other religious communities of Kerala. According to scholars, the Mappilas are the oldest settled native Muslim community in South Asia. In general, a Mappila is either a descendant of any native convert to Islam or a mixed descendant of any Middle Eastern individual and a native woman, yet so many Hindu nationalists try to make them look as a foreign invader, which is not just illogical but it does not have any historical grounds, rather based on political agendas. Mappilas are but one among the many native communities that form the Muslim population of India. Mappila Muslims are but one among the many communities that form the Muslim population of Kerala. Sometimes the whole native Muslim community in Kerala is known by the term Mappila. Portuguese writer Duarte Barbosa, 1515, uses the term Moors Mapulars for the native Muslims of Kerala. Mappila, originally meaning the great child and now often used as a synonym for son-in-law/bridegroom, was a respectful and honorific title. The native Muslims were referred to as Janaka or Chanaka Mappila or Yavanaka Mappila, to distinguish them from the Nazrani Mappila, St. Thomas Christians, and the Judah Mappila, Cochin Jews. They are often shortened to Mappila, formerly anglicized as Mopla/Mopla and historically known as Janaka/Chanaka Mappila or Moors Mapulars/Moros de Terra and Moros Malabares. But those were names given to them by others. Isn't it worth asking these people what they call themselves or what they like to be called? The Mappila community originated primarily as a result of the West Asian contacts with Kerala, which was fundamentally based upon commerce, the spice trade. Islam reached Malabar coast, of which the Kerala state is a part of, as early as the 7th century AD. Before being overtaken by the Europeans in the spice trade, Mappilas were a prosperous trading community, settled mainly in the coastal urban centers of Kerala. The continuous interaction of the Mappilas with the Middle East has created a profound impact on their life, customs, and culture. This has resulted in the formation of a unique Indo-Islamic synthesis within the large spectrum of Kerala culture in literature, art, food, language, and music. Portuguese distinctions. The Muslims present in Kerala were distinguished by the Portuguese historians into two groups. Moros de Terra, Moors of the land, referring to the native Muslims. Moros de Arabia/Moros de Mecca, Moors from Arabia/Mecca, referring to foreign Muslims. The latter, also known as the Paradesi Muslims, in fact came from all over the world. They included Arabs, Persians, Egyptians, Turks, Iraqis, Gujaratis, Khorasanis and Deccanis, and Melaccans, Sumatrans, Bengalis. These Muslims were not unsettled navigators, but many of them were natives who had settled in Kerala escaping poverty from other parts in India. A Mappila is either a descendant of any native convert, vast majority were Nair, Ishaver, Their, Pulayer, Mukuvar and Brahmin, to Islam, or a descendant of a marriage alliance between a Middle Eastern individual and a native low-caste woman. Till the 16th century, as noticed by the contemporary observers, native Muslims settled mainly along the coastal tracts of Kerala, especially in major Kerala ports such as Calicut, Kozhikode, Kannur, Kannur, Tanur, Tanur, Funan, Ponani, Cochin, Kochi, and Quillan, Kollam. They were traditionally elite merchants who were all part of the brisk foreign trade. Until well into the European period, the native Muslims were almost exclusively concentrated in the port cities. Middle Eastern sailors had to rely on lighterage at most of the Kerala ports in the medieval period. This led them to enter into mutually beneficial relationships with the traditional sea fisherman community. A large majority of fishermen, once low-caste Hindus with almost no rights and no dreams, in northern Kerala now follow Islam and become an elite merchants, scholars, and later on even rulers. Well, I think now we know why so many native Indians converted to Islam. It was mostly for the equality that Islam provides for all human beings no matter their color, origins, or caste. Islam was centered around the brotherhood concept where everyone in the community is treated equally and everyone strives to serve the community and help its flourishing. That was so attractive to so many low-caste Hindus, who did not have rights for land possession, or marrying from a different caste, or even doing politics. But once those low-caste Hindus heard about Islam from the Muslim traders and lived within the Muslims communities, there was a mass conversion to Islam by those low-caste Hindus who will later on change the economical, social, and political landscape of India, a thing that they would not even be allowed to dream about in the low-caste system. After and during the Portuguese period, some of the native Muslim merchants were forced to turn inland, Malabar, in search of alternative occupations to commerce. Some acquired land and became landowners, and some became agricultural laborers. Between 16th and 20th centuries, the collective Mappila numbers increased rapidly in Malabar and Travancore and Kochi regions, chiefly by the conversion among the lower and outcast Hindu groups of the South Malabar interior. The peak of the Muslim distribution in Kerala had gradually shifted to the interior Malabar district. William Logan, comparing the census reports of 1871 and 1881, famously concluded that within 10 years some 50,000 people from the Chiruma community, former untouchables, converted to Islam. Islam growth had considerably outpaced that of the general Kerala religion due to higher conversions. British distinctions. During the British period, the so-called Mappila outbreaks, circa 1836 to 1921, led the officials to make and maintain a distinction between the interior Mappilas and the exterior Mappila traders of the coastal cities, such as Calicut. The two other regional groupings are the high-status Muslim families of Cannanore and North Malabar, arguably converts from high-caste Hindus, and the Muslims of Travancore and Cochin. The Colonial administrates also made and kept a distinction between coastal and inland Mappilas of the South Malabar, and split the once united Muslims to subgroups to weaken them, such as Thangals, the Sayyids. At the top were the aristocratic Thangals, the Sayyids, who claimed descent from the family of Prophet Muhammad. Arabis, below the Thangals are Arabis, mostly from the coastal towns, the people tracing their origin from the West Asian intermarriage with Malayali women. Landed aristocracy, the Arabis were followed by the landed aristocracy, centered on Cannanore, North Malabar, arguably converts from high-caste Hindus. Lastly, there were the converts from the backward and scheduled Hindu castes, such as the South Malabar interior Mappilas, Pusalar/Puy Islands and the Asants. About 1/4 of Kerala's population, 26.56%, are Mappilas. The calculated Mappilas population in Kerala state is 8,873,472. The number of Mappilas in rural areas is only 4,251,787, against an urban population of 4,621,685. The number of native Muslims is particularly high in northern Kerala, former Malabar district. Mappilas are also found in Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea. A small number of native Mappilas have settled in the southern districts of Karnataka and western parts of Tamil Nadu, while the scattered presence of the community in major cities of India can also be seen. When the British supremacy on Malabar district was established, many Mappilas were forced for employment in plantations in Burma, Assam, and for manual labor in Southeast Asian concerns of the British Empire. Diaspora groups of Mappilas are also found in Singapore and Malaysia. Furthermore, a substantial proportion of Mappilas have left Kerala to seek employment in the Middle East, especially in Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Culture. Mappila literature. Mappila songs/poems is a famous folklore tradition emerged in circa 16th century. The ballads are compiled in complex blend of Malayalam/Tamil and Arabic, Persian/Urdu and a modified Arabic script. Mappila songs have a distinct cultural identity, as they sound a mix of the ethos and culture of Dravidian South India as well as West Asia. They deal with themes such as romance, satire, religion, and politics. Moyin Kutty Vaidyar, 1875-91 is generally considered as the poet laureate of Mappila songs. Mappila folk arts. Apana was a popular form of social entertainment among the Muslims of Kerala. It is generally presented by women numbering about 15 including musicians, as a part of wedding ceremonies a day before the wedding day. The bride, dressed in all finery, covered with gold ornaments, is the chief spectator. She sits on a pitham, around which the singing and dancing take place. While women sing, they clap their hands rhythmically and move around the bride in steps. 2 or 3 girls begin the songs and the rest join the chorus. Kokkali was a popular dance form among the Muslims of Kerala. It is played in group of 12 people with 2 sticks, similar to the Dangiya dance of Gujarat. Mappila cuisine. The Mappila cuisine is a blend of traditional Kerala, Persian, Yemenese and Arab food culture. This confluence of culinary cultures is best seen in the preparation of most dishes. Kalamakaya, mussels, curry, irachi putu, irachi meaning meat, paratas, soft flatbread, pottery, a type of rice pancake, and ghee rice are some of the other specialties. The characteristic use of spices is the hallmark of Mappila cuisine. Black pepper, cardamom and clove are used profusely. The Malabar version of mandi, popularly known as curry mandi in Malayalam, is another popular item, which has an influence from Yemen. Various varieties of biryanis like Thalassery biryani, Kannur biryani, Kozhikode biryani and Panani biryani are prepared by the Mappila community. The snacks include unnakaya, deep-fried, boiled ripe banana paste covering a mixture of cashew, raisins and sugar, pasum narachathu, ripe banana filled with coconut grating, molasses or sugar, muddamala made of eggs, chatti pottery, a dessert made of flour, like a baked, layered chapati with rich filling, arikadukka, and more. Arabi Malayalam language. Also called Mappila Malayalam and Mappila Malayalam, is the traditional Dravidian language of the Mappila Muslim community. It is spoken by several thousand people, predominantly in the Malabar coast of Kerala state, southern India. The form can be classified as a regional dialect in northern Kerala, or as a class or occupational dialect of the Mappila community. It can also be called a vernacular in general, or as a provincial patois, with the latter label being increasingly applicable in colonial times. All the forms of the Malayalam language, including Mappila, are mutually intelligible. The variety Arabi Malayalam is also used by lower caste non-Muslims in northern Kerala, Muslims in Dakshina Kannada, and different Mappila migrant communities in Southeast Asia. Arabi Malayalam was made by writing Malayalam while using the Arabic script. The Arabi Malayalam script is an abjad. The script is also known as Kata Funani or Panani script. It is also used to write several minority languages such as Aranatan and Jisri.